what to say.
Blame Brad?
Blame Brad.
No.
Yeah.
Blame Seth.
Blame Seth. Yeah, it doesn't work. It had to be blame Brad.
Blame Stewart.
Yeah.
Doesn't even work.
No.
Yeah.
Blame Tom?
Listen, works perfectly,
Yeah.
and listen, everyone's already mad at me enough. So, I'm so happy to have Jordan and Kylie Miller of The Beaches join me in studio.
Hey,
Hey,
Tom.
Good to see you again.
You guys said that at the same time.
I know we're sisters.
Okay.
We will sometimes speak at the same time and say the same thing.
Congratulations on the album.
Thank you.
Everyone feeling good?
Yeah.
So good. Overwhelmed. Like, it's been an overwhelming experience. We worked so hard on this record, and as you said, like, it came out of like quite a bit of adversity. But so to like come through it and write about those experiences and put it out there, and to have so many people like connect with the songs and like them, and all of the weird cameo celebrity things that have been shared to us recently, like, it's been so cool.
We're going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Kylie, can we talk about the sort of the businessy part of
Sure.
the...
I love that you know
I like
that
that you
that's
know
my role.
that that's her role.
I had a 50-50 chance of getting it right.
I mean, it's my blazer. It just screams.
Yeah.
You know what? It's never the singer. Is
Yeah.
The thing,
No,
you know?
exactly. It's the puka shells that I'm wearing that it's giving away that this one isn't serious.
Yeah, the fact that you're wearing board shorts and doing this all the time and going like, nah, man, I would ask whatever you want.
There you go.
In all seriousness, my understanding is, and I hope you might talk me through it if
Yeah.
you'd like to do that, is that so the last time you guys were here, it was with a major label and with a different management.
That is true, yeah. So that was great for a little while, but then obviously COVID happened and the structure of the major label system shifted even more, where our band just really didn't fit. There wasn't a place for us. So we ended up being dropped. And then at that same time, we also decided to fire our management team, and we also lost our U.S. agent. So pretty much like we completely had to start from scratch and start new. But that also lended us like an opportunity to really evaluate what it is we wanted, what our team wanted to stand for, like what the next piece of work was going to be.
Yeah, I remember, like, I think it was someone on our agent's team, like, it might have been our agent, who said, like, this next record that you put out is kind of going to be what makes you or breaks you. Like, if it doesn't do well, I don't really see there being a lot of growth for you guys. So
Oh, man,
whatever.
What a thing to hear.
Well,
Yeah,
it was
no pressure.
important. It's important to hear too, though. Like, you have to trust the people that are on your team when they're telling you these sort of hard truths. And you know, when you get that sort of a statement, you kind of are like, okay, well, if this is our make or break album, we might as well make something that we're really proud of, that we would want to listen to. So you get a lot of creative freedom as a result of that pressure, and you're paying for it yourself too.
Yeah.
So
What creative freedom wise, like, did these changes in like your structure and like because also there's like there's a line on the record that stuck out to me, and I might be reading too much into it, but there's a line on the record that's something like, I hear so much about girls supporting girls, but I woke up with a bunch of dudes telling me what to do. Is that your line?
Yeah, and everything is boring.
Is that kind of about...
I would say, I think that like definitely was kind of like the reality that we were living in when we were in the major label system. A lot of the time it's like sitting in a boardroom, and it's like they go through every single like part of the band. It's like what we're wearing, you know, all the music not being poppy enough. Like, it's just, it's like having someone control every single fragment of what it is we're doing, what we're saying, and all that. And, you know, there can be really great experiences with labels, and I know that they're really helpful at the beginning, especially for getting your name out there and having money to, like, back the project is very important.
Yeah. Also, candidly, we wouldn't be here had we not gone through the label system as well. So they are a part of the success of this record too.
But it is nice to also then kind of you getting to be that person to make all those calls. Like, when that shifts and you have the power, that really is like nice to have that change, I would say.
Totally.
What did you say to one another? What did you say to one another in terms of what you wanted this record to be?
Well, sonically, we started writing the record before my breakup happened. So in the beginning, it was a lot of just us going into sessions with people we hadn't worked with before. We did a Nashville trip. We worked with a bunch of other Canadian writers.
Yeah, there also is like so much talent in this country that we were not accessing. Like,
Right.
we were always going to LA to do like writing trips and to work with people there. And really, there are so many people in Toronto and like all over the country that are like really just as talented, and you can kind of get like even a better product, in my opinion,
Yeah.
than going somewhere else
Yeah.
because you also get the funding, which is super helpful.
So yeah, definitely.
So we
Yeah.
were throwing a lot of stuff at the wall and seeing what stuck. And then we wrote a couple songs that ended up on the record from that period. And then my breakup happened, which kind of like shifted things. And so I started writing about that a lot. And then that kind of drove the sonics a little bit more to, because I was feeling quite happy sad about it. So I wanted like the sound to be very happy sad, which is, and so we were listening to like a lot of new wave bands and The Cure, taking cues from that, and the record kind of evolved like through those experiences.
Can we listen to the big song?
Yeah, sure.
Done being the side girl, I'm done beating rock stars for non-only actors, tall boys in the rafters. I'll become an asshole, disguised as a bad girl, in my bottle of syrup, a natural disaster. Hey, you could be my
I hear the new wave there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear the Cure.
You can hear it. It's
It's
all
in
over the
it's
place.
in the guitar tones.
Yeah.
Like it's just really kind of dialing those little things in.
Yeah.
It's a great song. So that's
Thank you.
Blame Brett by the Beaches. The first time I heard that song, the first time I heard that song, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. everyone in Canada was like, that's a spicy meatball.
That's my words exactly.
Yeah.
Jordan, let's do it.
Yeah,
What's
let's
the song?
dive
What's
into
the
it.
song about?
Okay, well, the song actually, it's a misleading title because it's not really about Brett. Who is Brett? Brett from the Glorious Sons.
Your
my
ex-boyfriend is
ex-boyfriend.
in a very
very
successful Canadian band.
exactly.
We did it. Keep going.
Yes, we did it. We touched on it. And so I'd been on a couple dates with this other new guy I was seeing, and he told me he loved me, like 3 dates in.
Rough.
And yeah, it was just, I was like, oh man, I'm not over my ex yet, and I'm starting to feel like a bad person. Like, should I be over him? So I came in with this sort of idea to write a song apologizing to all the future people that I was gonna see, being like, I'm sorry in advance. I'm probably gonna like break your heart because my heart's been broken. LOL, don't blame me though, blame my ex-boyfriend. So it's sort of like, the song's like a nice long setup for a joke.
Did you?
And I did ask him.
You
yeah.
did?
Yeah. he
Is it a text or a phone? Can
So I did give him a phone call. I was like, hey, I'm in the studio. We had this really funny idea. I told him like the concept of the song, and I said, the tag we were thinking could be "Don't blame me, blame Brett." And he sort of was like, "Oh, if there's gonna be a lot of 19-year-old girls that are gonna hate me." And, he was prepared for it. He gave me his consent and his blessing. He's like, you couldn't find another name, eh? I'm like, the Blame Brad just like has really good alliteration. I don't know what to say.
Blame Brad?
Blame
Like,
Brad.
no.
Yeah.
Blame Seth.
Blame Seth. Yeah, it doesn't work. It had to be. It had to be Blame Brad.
Blame Stewart.
Yeah.
Doesn't even work.
No.
Yeah.
Blame Tom?
Listen, works perfectly. You know,
Yeah.
and listen, everyone's already mad at me enough. So, what I love that you said there, because the first time I heard it, that's weird to talk about.
Yeah.
This is the first time I heard it. I did think that's a spicy meatball.
Yeah.
Well, I thought like, oh, this is a song. It reminded me of the song from that movie Road Trip. Do you remember?
Oh, Scotty doesn't know.
Scotty doesn't
That's what
know.
everyone's been saying to
And
me.
but that's what I thought
Yeah.
at first. I was like, oh jeez. I thought to myself like, oh, is this sort of like salacious or something like that? And then when I listened to it, Jordan, you're just a great songwriter.
Thank you.
But when I listened to it, you pulled off something so nuanced and so hard in this song, which is that you think the song's about blaming somebody and like sort of like shit talking somebody.
It's not.
And it's
I'm
about
the-
how sad you are.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm the villain in the song. When people are always like, oh, F Brett, I'm like, no, you guys are missing the idea of the song. It's about the whole record, even. You know, there's a lot of great breakup records out there, especially the contemporary ones, where people will dive into the relationship and what went wrong there. I'm kind of private, and I didn't want to do that, but I did want to talk about what I was feeling. So the record, it is a breakup album, but it's about what happens to you after a breakup.
Yeah.
And all the mixed feelings and like the self-rediscovery and, the self-loathing, all of the mixed bag of emotions that you go through. But thank you for noticing that. Yeah.
You made a really like beautiful, introspective, vulnerable, if you don't mind me saying so,
it was
song.
Is the whole record, it's always been really tricky for me to be vulnerable and open. If you listen to my previous songs, I will talk about like unfortunate experiences, but it'll be dripping in irony and they'll be really funny. So you really don't feel it. But with this, like there has to be some genuine sadness that is in it because it was a really sad and devastating time for me. But yeah, with Blame Brett, there still is a little bit of humor in it with the chorus, but it is really about like me just not being over him.
Kylie, how was that for you? Like, how was it for you when your sister's going through something really hard like that?
It was tough to see, but it was also, I think, really inspiring to all of us that Jordan was able to channel such a hard period into something so positive. Like, to come into the studio every day and write about what you're going through is not an easy feat. It's basically like going to therapy with your best friends every single day.
Yeah, and your family member.
So it was hard, but I think like it brought us closer together for sure. And it also helped us kind of bond a little bit more. I think when you're in a relationship with another musician and you're traveling a lot and you're long distance, it's hard to kind of keep friendships like close. And when you guys broke up, I think that the band, we all became so much closer. And Jordan and my relationship really improved, and with Eliza and Leandra as well. And I think the record really bonded us together. And then right afterwards, Leandra and I also got dumped. It's like Jordan cursed us.
I cursed the world apparently because it seems like everyone's breaking up.
They wanted to get a song named after him.
Totally. But it just helped us. The whole record actually helped us kind of through our own breakups as well.
Well, there's one song on the record, Edge of the Earth, that's not about me. It's about Alex and Leandra. Sorry, Leandra's our keyboardist. About their relationship, and it's sort of about that relationship coming apart as well.
It sounds like it's four of you guys in a room processing the same thing at the same time and like being able to, not to be too sappy here, but like being able to lean on one another.
Totally. No, I honestly don't know how I would have gotten through that experience without the girls. I'd never been like that sad before because like it's true what they say about heartbreak, that you feel it physically in your heart. I hate being that cheesy and that
Come
literal.
on, you're at the CBC. This is the place to do it.
It's true.
This is the place to do.
But I just like remember like leaning on the girls when we shot the video for What Doesn't Kill You Makes You Paranoid. I had to I wanted to like really give a good acting performance in that. So I listened to like Gloria Sun songs before. I like really tortured myself to get back to the place where I was missing him so much. And there's one scene where I break a mirror and then go immediately walk over to the girls and embrace them. And I started to cry in the video because it felt like I did. It felt like it because I got so much strength from my relationship with the other beaches. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Since then, the song goes crazy. And I'm going to get in trouble for this, but it went Canadian crazy first.
It did.
And then it went like crazy. Yeah. I think over the summer it was like the most added song on Canadian radio.
It's been 12 weeks and number one.
Is it still 12
or 11?
I don't know if we're still number one this week.
Yeah,
we are. Oh wow.
I love that Kylie's the business oriented.
Come at me, Hosier.
Yeah. That's my favorite single on the record. But then it gets even bigger than that because of TikTok. I mean, last I saw was Demi Lovato was singing it.
Yeah, and then we just had Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 singing it.
Nelly Furtado was singing it.
I was a little bit cynical using TikTok in the beginning, but I've really come to love it as a tool to like share your music with people. One of the funnest things is like watching, young women lip sync to the song and like share their own experiences or like do a fashion show to it, like just feel empowered by it. You don't really get to see that directly unless like you don't really get to see fan reactions directly in the music industry unless you're on stage. So it's been really cool just to see people digging it.
Does it change your I don't want to say like your bottom line, but like, does it help? Like, does blowing up on TikTok, are you noticing a difference between this and like when your records did well in the past?
The tours sold out, so
yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I think that's like the big concerns. Like sometimes people are worried that TikTok followers don't mean like
They don't translate.
not like that they're actual fans.
Yeah,
But-
Steve Lacy had that line where he was like, "All anyone wants to hear is the 12 seconds of my song."
Yeah,
you know, that
and
kind of thing.
that can end up being a thing for a lot of people. But the interesting thing that's happening with us is that these young people, or people all over, I don't know how old they are, they're discovering us through TikTok, but then they're going through our entire discography.
Yeah.
Like they're just becoming hooked on not even just this record, but the old stuff too.
Yeah.
So we're actually accumulating fans, and that's why our whole tour is sold out, because I think people are diving back in, and then they're kind of falling in love with Late Show. They're falling in love with the professional stuff that they've never heard. I just think that our band hasn't been exposed to them before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Look what you're doing on your own, right?
I
Yeah,
know.
hire a Gen X girl to film you a bunch.
Well, it's that, but it's also just really leaning and trusting our management team
Yeah.
and, like, again, utilizing the things that Canada has to offer. We're so lucky that we got to work with Gus Vingo and Lowell as co-producers for this record, because they really just did a dynamite job, and it was
She's some songwriter, man.
she's
she's
incredible.
the best in the world.
She's an unbelievable songwriter.
Yeah.
I remember her. She was on the show the first time I guest hosted this show.
Really?
Yeah, it was her. You know Terry Crews, like the big. He was in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh,
The two guests the day I was 25. The first day I hosted the show, it was Lowell and Terry Crews.
Excellent. No notes.
She's an
amazing.
unbelievable songwriter.
Yeah.
And Gus is incredible too. Let me. I know we're running out of time, so let me ask this then. Jordan, is there some kind of feeling that gets conjured that this devastating thing you went through, and like from what I can tell from talking to you, it was devastating.
Yeah.
Is the thing that is propelling your band and giving you this new life?
Like the experience, like are you saying like do I feel like better, like I've come out of a bad experience?
No, it must be an interesting feeling.
It is
like,
so interesting.
knowing that the thing that you went through is the thing that's actually helping other people and helping your band find new people. And
I think that's what has made me feel comforted, like has comforted me, is that it's helping people. I was really nervous to like play these songs live because I was like, oh man, am I going to be like traumatizing myself again and again, reliving these experiences? But now that the music's out there and people are sharing their own experiences with me, they no longer feel like my songs. Like I did write them, and they did come from a horrible experience, but like everybody experiences heartbreak, so everyone can take what they will from it. And and I love that I was able to do that.
Beautiful record.
Thank
And-
you so much.
And I feel like I think I feel a certain like affection for people who were on the show in like my first year of the show when I didn't really know what I was doing. What I mean by that is I fully didn't know what I was doing. And
you never
we
seemed like
we
that.
we couldn't have guessed.
yeah, well, you should have. And so I think anytime like when I've seen this happen for you guys, I have felt so happy for you.
Thank
you so much, Tom.
Thanks for coming in.